So Akai just dropped the MPC Sample, and this is the first MPC that's actually made me want to try it. After years of using the SP404 and smaller samplers, I've realized I like samplers that have limitations built into them. So I've just opened this up and I'm gonna try and learn it in one sitting without using the manual and without ever having played an MPC before. Let's get into it. So I've got it loaded up and these are the default samples that come on. So first we're gonna find some drum samples that we like. So there's a nice little piano right here and there's this nice chop. So we're gonna go into chop and it looks like, I think if we hold shift, I'm assuming, yeah, we can zoom in with shift. Now there's already some chops going on. I can see we can move the start and end, and then it looks like with this one we can change the chop type. So threshold. Now we need to figure out our BPM. Let's get out of chop and see trim tune. Yeah, let's just figure out sample record. Oh look, we have the mic. Oh, you can actually hear. So that's the mic quality. Oh, this is actually sample. We don't want to sample. That's right. We want to go into sequence record. But now we need to know what Oh, there's actually something already in there. So let's get into sequencer. Okay, there's nothing on this one. But okay, so in sequencer, we found the BPM. Let's see if we go here. I think we can use this value knob. Let's do maybe 97, 96 sounds good. Let's start with 96. We'll go from there. BPM record quantize. What do we got? Is that just... Okay, so that's that. Let's put some swing on. It looks like the quantize is set to 16th notes. Oh, metronome. I'm assuming that's it. Let's hit shift metronome. Whoop. There we go. Metronome's on. And it looks like it started sequencing. So let's go record. And... Oh. Okay, I see. That's a problem. I'm going to keep hitting play when I mean to stop. So if we want to stop, it's not the play button again. It's actually the stop button. I'm used to like Koala and even with the SP. How you start a pattern is also how you stop it. So what we need to do is go in and delete that. So we're going to go here. Yeah, clear that. And then back here, we got to reset. Looks like we got to reset it. Okay, and then the metronome's on, so it's on. Let's put some swing on here. Let's keep it at 2 bars. We need to get into chop though, so sequence record. Before we do that, let's get out. We got to find the track we wanted to do actually. It was this one, right? Let's go into sequence record. Okay, so that's the quantize coming in pretty hard. Okay, I don't need most of these, and I do think we're gonna record some guitar in, so what we're gonna do is just erase these. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. I gotta tell you, I really like these pads. They're a little bit higher than something like the SP, and they have a lot more sensitivity to them than something like the SP, which is huge. So we've got our drum. Okay, so let's really, I still keep doing that. Let's go over to chop. I wonder, can we change the individual tuning of each? Oh, I think we can. Oh no. What about if we look at warp? What options do we have here with warp? I like getting that warp on. That's the time stretch algorithm. We just need to actually move into this chop. Yeah, you can see right there, this chop is not chopped well. How do we go in and adjust the start time? Here, okay. That's annoying, it just like moved the zoom back. All right, I have an idea. Let's just record this in really quick. All right, so with that, we've got the start. Now let's actually see about sampling in. We're gonna record some guitar. All right, so we've got the guitar plugged in, but there's no sound, right? So I think we're gonna need to go here into this input config. And we can see it's set to mic. So we're definitely gonna need to change that to rear. And now we can see audio, but I'm not hearing it. So let's turn the monitor on. Okay, that seems like it's working. Let's go to threshold. We'll leave that. Record length. Is that where we set, oh, to sequence? Oh, interesting. And it looks like we've also got effects, but I think that's for a different day. So we're gonna go and record that sample. So let's go in and we're gonna grab, we'll put it right there. Let's turn on this. like that guitar tone, I'll tell you. I want a little more drive on it actually, but maybe what happens if we just kind of warp it up? Oh, okay, so we need to change the warp. Maybe warp's dependent. Yeah, it looks like it's dependent per pad. And what would happen, let's say, what if we up it an octave? Maybe we put a filter on it. Make it sound a little warped, right? Now we do need a bass note. Now one of the things that's a bit of a bummer is at least it seems like there's no sound generator. I know there's a lot of talk about the MPC Sample versus the SP404, and that's something we can get into in a future video. A few things are missing on here that do differentiate them a little bit. Whether you need them, like them, anything like that is up to you. Today's video, we're not going to talk about that a lot, but if you do want to hear more about it, let me know. I'll make a video on it. But I don't think, to my knowledge at least, and I'm going pretty blind in this, I don't believe there's a sound generation or like a synthesizer built in. SP404 does have that. There is a little bit of bass on this sample though. I can hear it on those. Now what we could do is maybe put a filter on here, right? And let's do a high pass filter. And let's put that way over here and up the resonance. So what we're gonna do is rather than resampling to get that bass line up, we're just going to do this trick where we take what seems counterintuitive, a high pass filter, which is cutting out low end, but by putting this resonance, you see that huge peak we're putting? And hear that bass? And you can tweak it. We've got the samples that we want. We've got the sequence that we want. And I think to keep it simple, rather than making multiple sequences and figuring out how to copy sequences and all that stuff, we're just going to use track mutes because there's a really nice button right here to just mute things so we can build the song that way when we do our final jam. But before we get to that, we've got some different effects that I know of so far. I guess there's 4 types or something like that. So let's start simple and let's look at this master compressor. So I think if we hit shift and compressor, let's turn on the color. That's that like retro. Let's move the attack. Let's get a really quick, oh, listen to that. I mean, you can just tell. Okay, so you can hear with this compressor all the way on, the volume drops, but we're getting this huge amount of ducking, right? Ooh, when we do that, it's really loud. And I actually like that. I mean, we're getting a ton. Let's up the attack. So with it completely cranked, right, we're getting a massive amount of gain reduction. But it's also causing that kick, which is really prominent, to duck or sidechain everything. Little pseudo sidechain trick. I don't know if we're gonna stick with that. What I think we'll do is do a bit of a dry wet mix. But I really like the bounce that almost fully wet signal gives. And I think now we can drop that filter a little bit. So let's get out of the compressor. Let's go back to this filter. We'll drop the resonance a little bit. Nice. Now, I know there's a couple other different types of effects. So we have a knob effect. I see. Okay, so knob effect just gets us to whatever effect is on. But if we hit FX select, okay, we have a lot of different effects. And there's also the pad effect. So we could add 2 compressors even, or a limiter, transient shaper, tube drive, soft clipper. Oh, we got a lot on here, and we could choose what we've got. Okay, let's do this vintage emulator, and let's see what we got here. What do we have? Oh, look at this. MP60, MPC3000, MPC60, SP1200. Let's try this MPC60. And let's hear it bypassed. And it looks like maybe there's not any other settings on it. But we've also got this pad effects. Ah, here we go. Okay, so we can add effects over everything. Oh, and it's pressure sensitive. That's almost like a chorus, right? And if we go to this flex speed, oh, I see, and you can change what it's doing. Right now, I think we've got a pretty simple start point for the MPC, right? go find some samples. There's some really good drum sounds in here stock, which is awesome. But you could also record in. We talked a little bit about recording in, but find some samples, chop them up, use the chop, easy way to do it. We didn't even touch loop, and we did not do 16 level. We should probably talk 16 level. Let's maybe add an additional hi-hat. Let's go to a different pad bank and just find some hi-hats. Here, this one. So if we go to 16 level, we have pitch, but I believe if we hit type, so let's record that sample in. I want to tune that up a little bit. Now I wonder if we can like motion record some like hi-hat stuff. I'm so curious. Let's see if we can do motion recording just by doing this. It worked. Look at that. That's awesome. That's good to know. Now, what we will do though is go back over to our made pad bank, which I think was this one. Yeah, that, because we're gonna talk about arranging the track now. Yes, we could look into all kinds of pattern sequencing, but we've got a pattern here that we can use. So rather than moving things, copying, and all that sort of stuff, we're just gonna use mutes to trigger things and turn things off as we go. So let's just make our jam now, right? So I think all we really need, right, is let's start with just the drums. And then when we want to do bring in that lead, we can. We could probably turn on effects. Let me know what you think about the MPC sample. It seems like it's everywhere right now, which is cool. I think this is awesome. I mean, first impressions, first reaction. There's a lot here, and that's what really excited me about it when I saw this announced and the rumors that were coming out. I mean, it was like the worst kept secret. There's a lot here. This is pretty cool. It sounds great, and what I think is most important is that while there is a lot going on here, it seems fairly intuitive to use. A lot of it's easy. There are a few things that I think I need to figure out more of, and they're probably simple ways to do it, but it's awesome. Again, there are some things I think I'd love to see in it, like an amp simulator that would make it a lot more powerful compared to something like the SP for me as a guitarist. But it's awesome as it is. There's a lot here. For 400 bucks, this is a very interesting spot to be in compared to what's around it. This video is not sponsored. I bought this. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, I bought this and because I thought it looked awesome and I wanted to check it out. I've got a lot to say about it, so we'll have a lot of videos coming out. But if you want to see my rankings on all of the samplers I tried last year, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.